Here's what I want you to get. He made a statement here. He said, after everything I've done, now remember, so far he's had 6 very clear things that have happened with these plagues. He says, after everything I've done, yet you have still set yourself against me. Now, in the Hebrew, the word there is you have fortified, like built a barrier, fortified yourself against me. So you look back at that and go, yeah, those Egyptians, can you believe the way they behaved? Really? Guys, people still do it today. Matter of fact, I'm about to read for you something that came out just last week. Interestingly enough, it is something that goes dramatically against medical science. It's clear physiological science. It's very obvious here. Very important people are pointing it out. But because our society, at least some in our society, are trying to push us towards sin, the end result's called the transgender movement. Everything's beginning to fall apart. So let me introduce you to this lady. This is Dr. Michelle Cretella. She is the head of the American College of Pediatrics, so she's a big deal. She says gender identity is a very real threat to modern care. Now, if you're wondering what that is, all right, this is the most famous one, Bruce Jenner. Now, the doctor explains that there's nothing any of us can do to change our binary, biologically determined at conception sex. Quote, she says, a man on estrogen is not a woman. He is a man with male physiology on estrogen, and that's how a physician has to approach him. The very serious problem, she points out, is that people are so ideologically driven that they want to ignore the medical research. Dr. Cretella says this, quote, medicine, now don't miss this, guys, keep this in gray matter. Medicine is at the point now that we understand that men and women have at a minimum, I want to put it there, look at that number, 6,500 genetic differences between us. Stick that in the back of your brain so you can talk about that. This impacts every cell of our body, our organ system, how disease manifests, how we diagnose and even treat in some cases. Treating a person differently based on their feelings isn't just harmful, she argues, but deadly. She points out that it's actually ironic that the transgender movement is so anti-science. Quote, there is absolutely no rigorous science that has found a trait called gender identity in the brain, body, or DNA. Now, sex, I can show you that. It's in our chromosomes. It's in the body. It's in the reproductive organs. Over 99.98% of the time, our sexual development is clearly and ambiguously, either male or female. The sex differences, she explains, are very real and very consequential. Now, guys, you have to understand something. This has been God's position forever, and he designed us. So this isn't a big surprise. But what happens is our society wants to go against God, so they fortify themselves regardless of the facts and regardless of the truth. So it's still happening today.